Sorry, guys. And I'm recording. All right. Awesome. Here we go. The bare knuckle crew.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's introduce ourselves there.
I'm Majestic Falcor.
I am one of those weirdos. You're one of those weirdos.
One of those weirdos. And I am Decon. Today we are here to discuss some very important topics in the world. In the world of mysticism and Lorne. Dude, I keep taking my jacket off and it's cold. It got cold really fast. I'm just gonna leave it on.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Anyways, all right. So let's talk to one of those weirdos real quick. I'm gonna ask you the question: is how did you find the Lorneography?
It's actually kind of similar to how you found it. And actually, most people's stories of how they found Lorne is they were listening to something and a Ramona call came on and we're all like, what the fuck is this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've loved tcap. I've been a fan of tcap since it was aired, which was, I think I was halfway through high school at the time. From the moment I saw it, dude, like I just couldn't stop watching it. Like I would record it on my DVR. I would like make my friends watch it with me and we would like make drinking games out of it. And this is actually different from a lot of people. A lot of people say when they first saw Lorne on tcap, he didn't really stand out. I'm one of those people where he 100% stood out. I mean, I still remember seeing it for the first time when they're about to show Lorne's footage and they read the excerpt of him calling Kayla Marie. He's like, just want to let you know, Kayla Marie Armstrong, you know, I love you very much in the marriage proposal and all that. Dude, my mind was absolutely blown. I was like, you don't need to go that far. I mean, you don't need to propose to the girl, dude. Like he's obviously one of the only predators that did that, which if that wasn't enough for me to be mind blown, I mean, the next thing, you know, I really didn't pay attention to how he came out of the car. You know, he's like all giddy and he skips up to the house and Kayla calls him in. That stuff I was like, you know, I was still trying to process like what I just fucking read. I was like, and as he comes into the house, I'm still like my head is trying to like picture what else did that conversation, like how did that conversation go? Like I cannot wait to read it, right? And I love how he comes in and she's like, oh, you have to check out this chair, you have to sit down, and he like repeats it back to her. He's like, I have to sit down. And
dude, he's like radio if radio wasn't charming.
And then the best, I was like, oh, dude, I can't wait for this interview, you know, because I think he was on the last show. So by the time you're seeing Lorne for the first time on tcap, you're very familiar with the structure of the show. You know it's going to be good. You know, Chris Hansen's going to come out and grill him. And I was already like, I can't wait to see this guy get arrested after, you know, he called her Kayla Marie Armstrong. I'm like, this guy, I hope he gets tased, you know, I was hoping. But then he sits down in the chair. He sits down in the chair and he goes, oh my God. And that's the first time you hear Lorne's 87 accent. And I was so mind blown. I was like, why did he say, oh my God, like that? I mean, I still always say, I'm like, dude, his accent isn't a main thing because I don't know if you guys heard Betty on Clobber's old streams, but Betty doesn't sound like that. Betty has a main accent. She doesn't say words so like how Lorne does, like, you know. So
yeah,
87.
Yeah, like I feel like he has a main accent, but he's also an 87, and that's how you get the oh my God, right? So, I mean this. So from there, you know, I would just constantly rewatch the episode with Lorne getting arrested because I didn't think there was a whole community out there. I had no idea until about, you know, 2014. I'm at work and I'm an editor, so I'm just at work editing and I have it in the background. All of a sudden, I hear a phone ring. It's obviously a Ramona call, I learned, but I hear this girl talking to him like his girlfriend, and I was beyond confused, dude. I legit thought that was his girlfriend, because Ramona was the only like catfish that actually acted like a decent human being. Like if you just stumbled across a call, you'd be like, how is this on the internet? That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't understand why this girl would upload these, and then obviously after listening to a couple, I realized, oh, damn, Lorne Armstrong is getting catfished and they're putting the calls on the internet. And then I was beyond hooked. I mean, and then here I am, 2023. I can't get enough, That's kind of how I got.
Here's what's crazy to me is the fact that was he, and help me out here, Majestic, was he the only predator that was planning on kidnapping the decoys?
No. I believe what was that one veteran dude? On his newest one on probably McFederich would definitely.
Yeah, but remember that Lorne is the only one that actually. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, brother. I was just gonna. I think I know exactly what you're gonna say. You're gonna say that Lorne was the only one that actually went there with the intention of not just like being with the decoy. He was like, oh, you got your, he was like planning on having her leave. Like he wasn't gonna stay there. Like, oh, we're gonna leave.
Yeah,
so he's like,
all right.
He's the only predator that I think that was actually, because other predators probably would, they were gonna violate this kid, and then that's it, But I think Lorne went there. Yeah, exactly. I think Lorne was the only one that went there because he's an idiot. He's an 87.
Flat out.
To actually
the one that
to go and get the truck.
I will say he is one of the only ones that proposed marriage. I can't remember. I think there might have only been one other one, maybe two. But I will say Lorne is the only one that had plans of taking her back to his apartment when he didn't have enough gas to get there and back again.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the argument that I have when people are like, well, if Lorne was more intelligent, he'd be dangerous. Like, no, the fact that he's dumb makes him dangerous because he's going to take this girl, doesn't have enough gas, and as soon as could you imagine if the FBI like starts combing through and they look through, what would he do? Or what if she starts freaking out like, I want to go home, I want to go? He'd probably be like, no, they'd probably put his hand over her mouth and then suffocate her.
Yeah, dude.
He'd probably kill her.
He probably would, honestly.
He's insanely dangerous, man. Like, I mean, we can obviously get into the psyche of what makes him so intriguing. I think if he was a normal amount of intelligence, he would probably not be as dangerous. I think he's so far in the 87 direction that fortunately, that's the best place for him to be because he got caught, right?
Yeah. How did he not get more time?
I can't believe. Lorne was facing 20 years, and he bitches about that he only served 5. And this is a lot of people justify the catfishing, and this is why he gets catfished and trolled so hard because he only got 5 years. He wanted to take pictures of them having sex, and he wanted to make child porn. He wanted to kidnap. I mean, he would have destroyed this girl, and probably would have got murdered by her parent, like her dad. They were rich doctors. Probably had lots of weapons. Who even knows, right?
Yeah.
Rich people like to go.
He's got scalpels. He's gonna put a scalpel inside a rubber glove and then just spin it and like launch it at Lorne. And Lorne's so dumb, he's gonna like react like a dog. He's trying to catch it and get his throat slit.
You know how Lorne would fight back? You know how he uses condoms to jack it, right? And then
man,
he admits that he reuses them because Debbie was saying, she convinced him to wash them out and reuse them. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, how does he dry out the condoms? Does he like have it on a wooden spoon? Like, you know, like his condoms drying out on a wooden spoon. And maybe that's how he would fight back Kayla's dad. You know, he's coming out with like nunchucks and he's just like lunging
him at them. No, he has he hangs them up like people in the country do with their clothes. He has like a clothesline out there. He just pins it up. Oh, there's one. This one's red. There's one. Oh, this one's got a hole in it. Oh, it's okay. I'll patch it up with duct tape. He keeps going. Whenever I get going, I just act like Dan that one call when he goes, "Oh, Lorne," you know, as soon as Lorne hangs up, you know. But what's crestfallen? Oh, Lorne.
Oh, Lorne.
I was like, Lorne.
Oh man.
So one thing that you bring up, Majestic, you know, I know you heavily believe that Lorne did something with his nieces, you know?
Yeah. I think something along the lines like that.
He has a niece fetish.
Yeah.
You talked about Amanda James. First of all, Decon, you brought this up last time. I think it might have been you when you and Majestic had your last show. But if he actually was molested as a kid, why didn't he say that story when Chris Hansen came out? Instead, he talks about Amanda James and how Amanda James told him that their daughter was his niece. Like, why are you talking about Amanda James' nieces? Why are you talking about your nieces? He's got a niece fetish, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing where some people say like, well, I believe that he wouldn't make that up, you know, and like you said, that would be if he was looking for sympathy, that would be the very first thing he would go for, is like tell this sob story. But I believe he made it up years later, you know. But instead, he did the whole stupid like Amanda James, you know, she expecting as if Chris Hansen was gonna go ahead and after listening to the story, you know, be like, wait. You send her Dale Earnhardt Jr. memorabilia? Yes, I did. You know what?
Yeah.
All right, guys, stand down. Stand down.
Stand down, guys. He's got to go back. Give him gas money.
Yeah. She told him that their daughter was his niece. Yeah, give him gas money.
You know what? Put it on Theo Vaughn's credit card.
Yeah.
Put all Eagle ones.
You know what's funny? Guys, he's a really good guy. He didn't want her to get in trouble I didn't want her to get in trouble by her parents. The way he says that, bro. The way he says that. When I first heard that, dude, that was my first angry feeling at Lorne. Like, I just wanted to strangle him. Just the way he says it. Like, I just didn't want to get in trouble in front of her parents. Like, why did you say it like that? There's so many ways you could have said it. You could have just said it normally. Like, I mean,
he's not a normal guy. He like sat there, and me and Majestic were talking about this last time, that he sat there, and the more Chris Hansen read, it was like the more he like went sideways, and his face just kind of started to disappear, and you know,
it's literally it's like literally someone's just like
as if he was getting he was getting lit up. He's just like, oh. And then he even stands up and he leaves the house. He leaves the house,
like
you know.
It was like legit, like Chris Hansen verbally, legit just saw like a verbal abuse on a person.
He was a verbal rock'em sock'em robot. That's what he was.
Yeah, it was literally like one of those movies.
Look, your stupid head just spins back and it breaks his neck. You know? Then he bumped me with the camera. You know, so stupid.
Oh my gosh,
stupid.
Like the way he like bends over, like
and then the guy bumps him because he between his legs. The guy just came up, you know, like oh, forget your nose, here comes the train, choo choo, just like hits him like right between his legs with the damn camera.
You know what's wild about that story? It's like, Lorne, you should be very happy. That's the worst that happened. Like, I bumped you in the nose with your camera. Motherfuckers got tased. Like, Lorne, you should have been fucking shot. You should have been shot thinking you could show up with your stupid fucking outfit, yo. Like, his stupid little socks and his stupid shoes, dude. Like, why does he look like that? Like, he left the...
It just looks like he got done mowing the grass.
You know what he looks like? He looks like if a wizard came and then turned like a pile of dirty laundry like into a person.
Yeah.
Like he's like you want to be a real boy? You want to be a real boy thing? And then he's like, all right, I'm coming, baby.
Boy.
It's like the wizard ran out of things to turn people into, and he's like, well, I got this pile of like dirty clothes, and I was gonna wash them before I turned this into a person, but since, hey, Lorne, you want to be a person, I'm gonna use this dirty pile of clothes and turn you into one.
Or that wizard was just like high on cocaine. He was just like doing crack. He was up all night with Hunter Biden just doing crack. And then he told Hunter Biden, he's like, I bet you I could turn this into a person. And then Hunter Biden, he was got the crack pipe in his mouth, and he's like, I rather, okay, what are we gonna send it to Ukraine? And then the wizard, did it. And then it's like, oh, look, it came out stupid. Sorry, my spell.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'll tell you where I got upset. I got upset, and I always say this, is just when he was on the call with the decoy, and then the decoy's like, I gotta go. He's like, oh, why you rushing? And then she's like, well, my parents are fighting, and I get scared, and it's really bad. He's like, okay, hop on the computer. It's
like, what?
That might have been one of the worst parts of those phone calls. And honestly, when I first heard those phone calls, in a weird way, I was so freaking shocked. Like, I could not stop listening to them. Like, I can't listen to them nowadays because I've heard them so many times. But when I first discovered those phone calls when they came out on the internet, like, what's really amazing about this community is in the very beginning, when it was called the Church of COD, this is right before I joined, there was a giant group of people, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, that were studying Lorne just from the chat log and the footage. And then I remember Andrew Burkett explaining he's like, when those phone calls got released, like we were like, it was like kids in a candy store. Like, it was like the most amazing thing in the world. We couldn't stop listening to them. And then it's like, nobody would have ever known. I mean, that's how intriguing he was. I mean, he captured all these people on the internet, and all they had was the chat log. And that alone is enough to like be like, holy shit, I can't, like, this guy cannot be real. He's got to be freaking made up. It's got to be a cartoon character. Like, this is a glitch in the Matrix. And then it's like, we are spoiled nowadays, man. We got these sagas rolling out. We got these Heelborn and Blue Boy, releasing new calls every Sunday. But it's like, I always try to think like, this is a good time to join. This is a good time to be a Lorneographer. But it's like, imagine if you didn't have any phone calls. I mean, it would still capture this much intrigue. Like just the goofy
for sure.
fucking shit that he said. Like,
I don't want to be a Lorneographer anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like Judge Foolish was he told me, he's like, dude, I got the soundboard I could send you, like, it's Lorne phrases. And I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Have you listened to the prank phone calls that people like, they call like Netflix with Lorne's voice, and it's like, why are you rushing? And it's like, you sound so sweet. It'll be like a fucking family video. They're like, hi, family video, and it's like, he's like, well, okay, sing to me. And then they're like, what? And then they just push the sing, and he just starts singing I Loved Her First, and the people have to sit there until he finishes the whole entire song. Until he finishes.
Yeah. I feel like if they were to call something like Netflix support or something, even the recording would be so dumb because it's Lorne. They'd be like, "Is this Blockbuster?"
Dude, you should listen to it. I'm pretty sure it's on Candid Fellows channel. He's the one that does it. He's got like hundreds of them. He does every Predator. Unfortunately, Kenneth, I don't think there's decoy calls from Kenneth. Unfortunately, he's like one of the only ones that's not up there.
Yeah,
I don't know who that. Imagine if we had that. He's the oh boy, the stuff guy.
Yeah.
The what?
Oh, never waste a load.
Yeah, never waste a load. That's
the guy that looks like Ned Flanders.
Yeah. With the what is it, the puka necklace or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, the puka, the shells.
Yeah.
he looks like if somebody took Ned Flanders and then took like Vince Vaughn out of a bad movie and then just like mixed them together and just threw them there. And they're like, here you go. It's the same damn wizard that turned Lorne into a person.
He does have that snaggletooth. I mean, him and Lorne, they are the snaggletooth predators, dude, for sure.
It's like he slept on one side of his face so long that the tooth just stopped growing and the other ones just went. No, I like it, what I like. That's what it looks like. What I like to say is it looks like somebody just took like a gun and like put it by Lorne's mouth and just shot it and like all his teeth panicked and like ran in all directions.
I know, it does look like his teeth were taken out and sloppily put back in by like a very drunk person, like or a blind person. It's like, oh, I think it goes there. I think it's this way.
The blind dentist.
Yeah, Dustin McFedrich.
Yeah, like Dustin McFredrich.
Polio.
Yeah, Dustin McFredrich after he got maced, and he's like, "You better put these teeth back together, boy. I'll be honest, I can't see." And Lorne's gonna wake up any minute now. His smile is no longer perfect, and they just lie to him. They're like, "Oh, your teeth are perfect. Oh, they're just cracked and yellow."
It's almost like we've all heard when Lorne in the new KC3 calls, he's like, "There's nothing wrong with my teeth. They're just stained from coffee and cigarettes." I legit think that he believes that, and does he? He's got to have never looked at them. I mean, Lorne.
He's kind of like
he's like teeth conscious. I've noticed.
Right. Yeah. Right, yeah. He does try to hide him in that call.
Like he never does this. He's always like that. And
he tries to cover his teeth.
Tries to do that. With him, he tries to sell you his teeth as it. Remember back when those guys in the parking lot used to sell you their mixed CD? He's like, hey bro, and they burned it. And they burn it like on a disc that's all scratched, and then they try to sell like these. Dude, I just burned these like 5 minutes ago. They're feeling, bro. They're so hot. Get my mixed CD. Like at a Walmart parking lot, like, oh, listen, and you listen to it, and you can still hear like the original track from like P Diddy. It's only they're trying to shout over it. Yeah. And they're like, that guy.
It's like.
All right, here's my next question. We're gonna get a little bait away from I almost said Roy, dude. Really quick, Roy's the man.
Roy's natty daddy, Roy, dude. He's slaying Poo-Tang like it's no other, man. Like,
dude, yeah, he's like the family. Everybody likes him. Like everybody thinks he's cool. The mom loves him, and then it's like if I were to say like, hey, bro, you want to meet Roy? He's awesome. And then I show like, come here, bro, follow me. And then he's like, dang, on the horn, And then you're like, what do you think? And then his charm just kind of gets you, and then you're like, bro, that's the smartest guy I've ever met, because it's the Roy incantation, and then Lorne is just in the background with like steam coming out. Lorne in the background just pissed because he wants everybody to hate Roy too. So he has like that. Imagine the old fashioned steam coming out of his ears. He's like, he's a loser, and he's staying there in a trailer with no walls.
You know what's interesting about Roy? He was talking to Sue. You know that girl that came to visit Lorne recently. I heard that Roy found out that a call of him was on the internet. Something he thought it was Sue. Anyway, he just cut her off right away. So it just shows, because I always think, I'm like, is the Armstrong? Is it a gene? Is Lorne so 87 because of a gene? And that proves no. Like right when Roy found out, like, hey, this girl from the internet might be putting calls on, he cut her off right away. Like not even Roy can fall for being catfished over and over again. Like no one in the family, like literally Lorne is one of a kind, even in
his own family
gene. Yeah.
So do you think that, when his mom was pregnant, people were like, Mama Gwen, you shouldn't stand that close to the microwave eating paint chips. It's not good for you. And then she's like, leave me alone.
No, Lorne, the beauty of Lorne and why he has no sympathy is because he did it all to himself. I feel like Yeah, he probably had a rough life, but so did Roy. Roy's not didn't get himself in anywhere near position. Yeah, Roy gets drunk a lot and stuff, but he still smashes that ass, you know? Like Lorne does this shit to himself. He is responsible for it. And it just shows. You compare him to Roy, and like, dude, Roy gets laid all the time. He lives in a fucking camper. And he's getting girls to fly out from Canada. And Lorne is
it's so true.
Oh, dude, Roy, he's so cool.
I do love that call when Lorne is fucking hammered and you just hear brrr. He's like, you hear that? And he goes aside. He's like, Roy.
Dude, I imagine Roy is like sitting there in a mystery machine, and then after Lorne like bangs on the glass, he's like, "Oh, take it easy," and he just like does a wheelie. He's like, "I don't need to do that. I'm a man." Just takes off. Oh man! All right, we got to get away from Lorne for a minute. This is killing my soul. He really is the mental and emotional STD.
I like how you put that.
Do you guys believe in skinwalkers?
Please, yeah.
What is that?
A skinwalker.
Like,
go ahead.
I was about to say, it's like a shapeshift, like it can shape shift into like say like a relative, or mimic their voice or whatever.
Yeah, they can like turn into animals. They're like. So, I found out about skinwalkers. That skinwalkers were in the United States about like maybe the past year, because growing up, I mean, you hear in a Salvadorian culture, they believe that wizards and witches can actually turn into animals. So then when I heard about skinwalkers, I was like, yeah, that's the only thing I believe. I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm like, yeah, skinwalker. That's some real stuff. And I was wondering if a skinwalker, if like one of those shamans screwed up and morphed into Lorne.
That could be.
It's like a skinwalker gone wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I did the spell right.
It's like a Wendigo.
They read it backwards. They had it like totally fucking backwards.
Yeah.
Again, as Dustin McFedrick putting it together again.
Oh yeah, dude, Dustin. All right, let's get back, dude. This tcap stuff is just so funny. I wanted to get away from it and talk more cryptid. We'll get back to it in a minute, but dude, Dustin McFredrich. I just listened to and I'm gonna give another shout out to Magnum Pop Pie. Have you listened to his chat readings?
No.
Yeah, they're very hard. It's so hard to listen to Dustin's chat log, dude. It's really rough. It's really rough.
You know, he wanted to have like a threesome at some point with an 8-year-old and then
with the decoy
or something like that.
Her sister.
The decoy's little sister. And man, and it was, and he told that story.
Like, what the hell?
He told that story. He says, and this lady wanted me to date her 13-year-old daughter. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No, she didn't. You creep.
And he's volunteering this information to the cop as he's being arrested for someone else's fucking underage daughter. Like, why are you? And then the cop's like, hey, what? Tell me more about that. Like, what's their name? Like, we're gonna try to charge you for this also. Why did he bring that up?
How old was the girl? 13, and that's what the cop just kills him. He's like, you know what? I'm done with my career. Just puts 2 bullets in him.
I know. It's like the restraint. I mean, you could tell right when, because everything on tcap, it's a decoy, so like we can laugh about it. But when these predators talk about like real victims, it just like it just makes my soul like feel cold. Like when I'm hearing it, dude. It's
also like the realization of like why they did it, and I mean like when they did the show and stuff, and then it's amazing that they just now got caught. So it's like, who knows how many more
victims these people actually have. Sorry.
Well, you know who's the worst one? I think one of them is Westerbeck. That like 4 foot. Yeah, he and then Chris Hansen when he comes out, Chris Hansen's like he couldn't. He made a comment about how short he was. He was like
he had trouble getting up on the stool.
Yes.
Can you imagine if Chris comes out and he's like, "What are you doing? Hello?" And he's just like behind the bar. Hello?
Should have done that.
Sorry. Oh, I guess he's not here.
What's wild about him and why tcap was so important is because, dude, he literally had a court hearing for molesting one of his relatives, and he had a court hearing like that week, and the tcap cameras were in there as the judge is saying like, "Hey, we're not gonna let you out on bail. Like, you better appear in that other court." And like, oh my god, imagine.
Yeah, dude, that was so crazy. He's standing there. He's probably like, do I qualify for a half sentence?
For real,
dude. He was standing there like in a jumpsuit, and he looked so dumb because they gave him like clothes that were too big for him. So he's standing there like he was Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, with those oversized clothes, you know, and they're like falling off of him. It looks like, again, that same wizard like cast a shrinking spell, and you see the guy just shrink like underneath the clothes.
Dude, like that just shows how small he is. Like they don't make prison clothes for people that small, you know, like they're probably like, this is the smallest size we have, and it looks huge. Chris Hansen should have made another comment about that, like, and the clothes look so baggy because, you know, they should have just kept making fun of him because of how short he is.
He looked like a Halloween decoration at an outlet store. He looked Yeah. He looked like a Halloween decoration in the piece of crap bin at the piece of crap outlet.
The bargain
bin. Yeah, the bargain bin at the piece of crap outlet, you know, just
flea market.
Dude, but it's crazy because he walks in there and there's like, dude, look how small you are. Why would you commit crimes? You're gonna have such a hard time in prison.
Oh my gosh, dude. And you know what's wild? Lorne said that the show aired while he was in prison. So that means all these guys, while they're serving their jail, their prison sentence, the guys in jail were able to tune in because it was on news, and that you get the local news when you're in jail. I mean, so I've read. I've never.
Is that why you're wearing? Is that why you're wearing prison stripes?
Yeah, so I got my prison stripes right here.
Are you secretly filming from like a jail cell? You suddenly knock over the poster, and the poster falls down, and there's like a guard behind. Like, oh, I knew it. Hey, it would take a man 450 years to get out of this here prison. This guy's over here screaming. Oh man,
that's funny.
But so what do you guys think about the Bare Knuckle Crew name?
I like it,
dude. I honestly am cool with any name. I'm just glad we have a group to name.
Right?
Yeah. That's dude, that what's up. Dude, yeah, I can't believe you, Majestic, you're really into bare knuckle boxing. And I had no idea you had no idea who that sounded horrible. Hold on, I'm like Chris Hansen. Can you please edit that out? I did not know that you had no idea who Battling Bart was. Dude, that guy. Yeah. That guy was a legend.
He is. He is a legend.
I think that what people don't understand about bare knuckle boxing is that you have to be. I have this argument, and I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like any boxer that was good back in the old days is a much better fighter than any boxer now. Like the old boxers, you know, the stepping into the ring. You know?
Or like the late 1900s guys, like those guys.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Because it was bare knuckle.
Because well, not just that, but these guys train. Like if you watch those, you see those pictures. They're all standing there like this, and they're wearing it looks like a leather glove. Yeah, exactly. And the reason why they and the reason why they train with those, and the reason why I made it so important is the fact that you had to be extremely accurate, pick your shots, and because of the risk of breaking your hands. And also nowadays, when you have a champion, name any champion. How many fights a year does he have? 2?
If that.
If that. Back then, these guys were defending their title weekly. So weekly. So these guys were fighting 5 times a week. So, these guys had to be really careful with their defense. They had to make sure, to me, one of the best fighter. Well, I have 2 of my favorite boxers. So the best boxer in history, number 1, I think, is the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, and number 2 is Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran was excellent at boxing, but Joe Louis, because he was in the era where you train that way. So when you watch him actually fight, when you actually watch him strike, when he throws the cross or he throws the jab, he's not standing directly in front of you. He'll sidestep just a little bit, just in case you throw back. You're not there anymore. He moved, boom. So everything that he throws, he's got a different angle. So he's not a target. He's a hard hitting target. So, anyways, that's it. That's all I got for that. I brought bare knuckles.
That was almost like Tyson. Kind
of with this peekaboo stance. Oh, and here's another fun fact. So, battling Bartholomew, what was his last name? Gorman. So he was considered a gypsy king. So back in those times, gypsies nowadays, they can't own land in their native country because they're considered garbage people. So they live in tents, and they're human raccoons. Anyways, so they're what Lorne one day wants to be. They're
a human ashtray.
Yeah, a human ashtray with perfect teeth. Anyways, I'm not making fun of the gypsies. The gypsies are actually, the Romani people are really interesting people, and I really love their culture because of that. They had a fight, just for territory. They had a fight. So they had different camps and they had different groups that they all stick together. We're going to camp here, but we can't just camp here. We're going to have to fight anybody that comes along so they don't take our campground because this is ours. This is safe. So you had the Gords, which was battling Bart. And then and tell me if this sounds familiar, the other big gypsy family that was fighting for territory with these guys were called the Furies. That was the other clan, was the Furies. and so there you go. There's a Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is because in his region, he was a Gypsy King in that area. And when he left, probably he had to relinquish that title to somebody else, and then somebody else comes along and they want to fight for the title. They want to fight for that little spot, and they had a fight, and then whoever wins, becomes the Gypsy King of that area. So there you go. That's a fun fact. So yeah, the Furies, dude, they're in a book called Bare Knuckle Champion, I believe it's called. I'm actually gonna start reading. Okay. So, anyways, if you guys want to get back to tcap, or should we continue?
You want to know something funny? Even like the worst, grimiest looking gypsy would still look at Lorne and make hella, I wouldn't be surprised if they were part of this community at some point. That's how far Lorne is on the scale of people. Even the what do you call them, human garbage. Lorne,
that's what the Europeans call them.
On the RSO.
It's like the Pharaoh people.
Yeah, they're like the Whitakers. You ever seen the Whitaker family in the mountains? People that are inbred. Even those guys wouldn't allow Lorne in the house. They're like, you know what? Let him pee outside.
Oh my god, dude! Hey! God rest your soul, Fama. I love that Farmer would make Lorne would come over there. He's like, all right, well, I don't know how Farmer established, you're not coming in this house without beer and whoopie pies. I love that, by the way. So that's epic. Then right when he drinks all of the beer that Lorne bought, he fucking talks shit to his face and then kicks him out.
And tells him to get out. Kicks him out. I gotta pee. Pee outside, you animal. Well, I mean, how else are you expecting him to treat him, dude? He saw him on TV trying to seduce a child, trying to kidnap a child, and he's like, ooh. And I am thoroughly convinced that was actually Lorne, Roy's friend. That farmer was originally Roy's friend, and then Lorne was that guy that just tagged along. And they're like, oh, here he comes, old 87.
Oh yeah.
Question for you guys: Do you think that farmer went? Lorne said the farmer went with him when he went to the fair to see Molly, MySpace Molly, or Melissa. I can't remember which one. Let's say that's true. Let's say that farmer was like, hey, you're talking to an underage girl. Hey, doesn't bother me. I'll actually go with you to the fair. That's how much of a piece of shit Lorne is, that a guy that's okay having a friend who does that still talks shit like and trolls into his face, like even to the other weird, creepy guys that might be pedo sympathize. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this one, Lorne has no friends, you know, and this is why. Like, I mean, even to like other pedos, I'm sure they're like, oh, at least we're not Lorne Armstrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least we're not Lorne.
Yeah,
for real.
Exactly. That's why I tell people. It's like, no matter what, no matter how bad your day is, at least it's not like Lawrence.
At least you're not like Lawrence. Majestic, why don't you answer that question? And yeah, I'm treating it like this is a debate. Why don't you answer the question, sir? And then you whisper, and then your lawyer whispers in your ear. He's like, and then you go, I don't recall.
Yeah.
So do you think that Tony Farmer knew what Lorne was doing?
Like, do you think because Lorne said that Tony went with him and they were going to get a hotel room, and then they ended up,
Oh man, that's a good question. I want to say probably. I think he did. I think Tony Farmer did know. And then still went along with it. And then this as a creepo, but then it's at the same time I also have a feeling like he didn't. Like
I don't think
Lorne lied. Like
I don't think he knew.
Lorne lied.
I think that Lorne lied to him and said, because my theory still stands. Like, I've been listening to that. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I keep listening to that whole stupid story where we were just gonna go, we're gonna look at each other, and we weren't even gonna wait. I believe he was talking to this girl, and she was happy because her dad was an alcoholic, and she had all these problems, and she probably happened to mention to Lorne that she was gonna go to a fair with her friends located here on this, and she wasn't it was maybe an idea, and she's like, oh, it's on this date, and then Lorne is like, she's probably with another guy, so he probably went to Tony and be like, hey, probably because Lorne also didn't have a car that would make it up there, so he's like, it's important, can you take me here, I'm gonna meet a girl, and then he went and it was the wrong day because she wasn't serious on meeting him. I guess she thought it was, and there was no plan on staying, like he said himself that they were just gonna wait, that he's gonna go home, and it's like, what? No, you weren't. So I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew.
Exactly. This is Lorne, how he would act with a real underage chick. He's going to be that guy. She's going to say, hey, I'm going to the fair with my friends. And he's going to be like, is it with a guy? Is it with a guy? And I guarantee he just wanted to make sure that she wasn't there with
Where did he sit? Where did he sit?
Yeah.
Did he sit in the same restaurant? Did he sit in the same restaurant as you? Oh, I was gonna be that stupid chat log, dude. Oh, I was gonna be mad. I didn't want him to be, stupid guy, man.
You know what's funny that you bring up that he probably didn't have a truck that would make it up there. We all know that new KC3 call where she made him drive to the airport and his truck would. Till this day, Lorne can't get a truck that will get him where he needs to go. Like, he still hasn't figured out. Like, he didn't have enough. He had to borrow his mom's car in the middle of the night to drive 2 hours to Portland. Like, Lorne, why don't you just fucking get a truck that works, dude?
It probably worked. Dude, you know how he claims he's a mechanic because he claims he's good at everything? I believe he sucks at basketball. Obviously he sucks at singing. So he claims to be a mechanic. So he probably gets a truck that runs and he's like, oh, I got to check the oil. He opens it, he gets a hammer, starts banging on the engine.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hit it until it tells me to stop, and the oil's fine. I don't hear it. Lorne,
we all
doing to Roy's truck?
We all know hashtag Lorne logic when it comes to trucks. He's gonna take the transmission out of this one, and he's gonna go ahead and put it in this one. You know, that famous line.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the transmission. He's carrying a muffler. You know.
Yeah. He's carrying a seatbelt.
He's carrying a pack of cards. And he's got put in it, so it sounds like a motorcycle when I'm driving.
Yeah. He would do that, knowing how he dresses for a date, how he showed up for Kayla with those stupid socks and those stupid shoes. He would think that would make him look cooler. Dude.
Oh, dude, I swear, if I stumble into Jorn as a genie, dude, and he tells me, he's like, first time I do my big Latin laugh, ha ha ha, you know, and then, you know, you get one wish, and I'll be like, man, what can I wish for? Oh, I know. Can you please scrub my brain with bleach so I forget that Lorne exists, please? Can you do that? And that'd be my only wish.
Wait, would you want to forget so you could relearn it all again?
No. 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 I would have wished so I get back just enough time for me to do hard drugs and then live on the streets. So that I can't, you know, afford anything, so I can't watch anything, and then that way I just never. And then Lorne Armstrong will show up, and then he'll be like, "Hey, here's some water," and I'll be like, "Man, I am glad I'm not that guy."
Yeah.
Like they're hanging out with Hunter Biden crack pipe, you know. Just I am glad I'm not that guy. That transmission.
You guys want to know something interesting I just thought of. Okay, you know, back in the Ramona days, I know you probably remember this, Falco. You listen to good old Ramona like myself here. I love the Ramona saga. You know when he's explaining, oh, the woman at the yard sale, she was gawking at me. You know what she was looking at? Because this is how I would react if I ever saw someone wearing a fucking headset like that in real life. I would stare at them. It'd be like seeing Bigfoot. I would be like, what the fuck is that on their head? Because I've never ever heard of a human in the last 20 years that wears that. We all I'm wearing AirPods.
Oh yeah.
It's called AirPods, you know, like Lorne has not figured out that AirPods exist. I don't understand how, you know, and imagine.
Hold on, I can't hear you. I'm going to smash this against. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Is that better? You know, just.
I think he wears it so people think that like he's important. Like he wears it. So it's evidence. Like, look, people want to be my friend. People call me. Like, see the thing on my ear? And I think he won't want AirPods because AirPods are subtle. He wants this huge fucking satellite thing on his head. So be like, so you don't miss it. You're like, all right. So people can gawk at him, I guess, you know?
Yeah, dude, I have a bit. I have a prop that I'm going to use really quick. Do you think that before he had those, he'd walk around like, yeah, hold on, I have an important call. He just like, is that guy? Is that guy?
I know, right?
Hold on, it's my woman. My girlfriend's talking to me.
It's my girlfriend. Yeah, my girlfriend. He's like, he has like a fucking like a cup with a string, like way out the door, and he's like in the store. Like, hold on, my girlfriend called me. Oh, my girlfriend.
But the string is not attached to anything because nobody wants to play that game with him.
Yeah, everyone cuts it off. Everyone cuts it off and runs away, and he doesn't realize it.
Oh god!
It's like, should we tell Lorne? His family's like, should we tell Lorne that person cut off the string and just ran away? It's not attached. Nah, let's not tell him.
No, just let him keep believing. Dude, what is that story that he? Oh, my battery's gonna die. Oh no, we probably have 10 more minutes here before it dies. I should have charged. Anyways, so remember when he told that story about he found his dog in the snow dead in the springtime? Did you hear that story?
No.
Wait, yeah. How he got a Bud? Was it how he got Bud or how he got Roscoe or Sadie?
No, he said that he used to have this dog that he said, and it was springtime, and he disappeared, and I didn't know where he went, and you know, whatever he said, and then he said it was springtime, and I found him out there dead. You know, he was frozen. He was in the
No way. I don't think I heard it.
I don't remember what call that was, but that's what he was talking about.
Oh man.
And I was thinking, like, if Lorne and that dog disappeared, he would find posters all over town, like from his mom, just looking for that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Dude, that's crazy, man. Okay, so let's move on just a little bit here. What's that other? There's a predator out there that they called the sociopath predator. He was like a guy that had no emotion. He was just sitting.
Was he the guy that just looked drowsy?
Yes.
The fucking guy that has no other emotion except drowsy, right?
Oh, the dude that like,
yeah.
like that.
He's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And he like,
it was like, oh. And then people probably thought he was dead, and they're like, dude, and they like held the mirror and they like hold it underneath his nose, see they fogged up, and he was like, I'm still alive. I just was born with the inability to feel. You know, but yeah, like Chris Hansen was grilling him, and there was like no reaction. He was like, what did he say? What did he say? He said, the things that your mind can conjure up.
Oh, Nathan.
Nathan Tagalong.
Fantasies dreamed up online, like in your mind.
They're in your mind, and you're in. Almost like, dude, it's almost like he got possessed by like a Edgar Allan Poe. Because remember, Edgar Allan Poe was also a pedophile. So for those of you that don't know, I think he married like his 13-year-old first cousin.
Imagine.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
Imagine he says that in court. Like, what else would you say, right? It's like Edgar Allan Poe. You know, like the spirit took me over, and I'm not really a pedo. It's Edgar Allan.
Dude, imagine the judge is like, well, I don't know why he has the microphone, apparently. Like, is this thing on? No, he's like, the judge would be like, well, we can't arrest the ghost. Just let him go, you know? but even that stupid judge wouldn't accept Lorne's excuses. He's like, nah, just go to prison.
Yeah. Hey,
Dale Earnhardt Jr., what are you, stupid? Get out of here. You know what? Put him in the hole. Put him in the hole with the giant predator. You guys remember that guy?
Oh yeah, the bodybuilder guy, or
no, he was a giant. So like he came in.
Oh yeah, the really like the 6'8" tall dude.
Yeah, they called him Lurch. I thought it was Larry Bird. I was like, what is Larry Bird
Lurch
doing in the thing house? But he showed up, you know, and
oh yeah, Travis.
Was that his name? He was just that.
Yeah, Travis. Something, but I remember
Catherine Reed interviewed him, right? And she's like, "I'm sure you did, Travis."
Oh yeah,
I've had a lot of girlfriends. I'm sure you did, Travis.
Like Chris Hansen, like saw he was like sitting there, you know, and Chris Hansen's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's just like,
he got up and just tried to like run after Casey. She had to like run away.
The way he did it was like one of those. I was like, all right, here we go.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's like, here we go, and he just flips the couch, and he gets up, hits his head on the ceiling.
Yeah, that was like, and I was like, all right, we're gonna do this.
It's almost like he's done it before, you know. It's almost like he's done it before.
Yeah.
Like he's like, all right, I'm gonna get in my molesting mindset. Here we go.
You know what?
All right, molest kid on. Let's do it. Game face.
You know what I just noticed?
Game face.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about cryptids at all, or
I know.
We didn't talk about cryptids at all. We kind of went into skinwalkers, and somehow it's that mental STD. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is.
It's
that parasite.
Yeah, he comes in. That amoeba comes in. Oh, dude, I'm gonna buy a
amoeba.
Yeah, the toxic Avenger would look at Lorne and go, ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Hey, Deacon, I kind of want to ask you about an interesting subject on your last show with Falcor. How you guys were discussing if Lorne didn't exist, you know, who if it was up to us, who would be the second Lorne? And I'm surprised you guys didn't say Palumbo. Palumbo talks hella funny. anything Palumbo says is hilarious, like Lorne. Like
that's because I think this guy
grocery list.
Put that in the fridge.
Your fucking grocery list would be hilarious.
Dude, I still can't believe. I'm not gay, and I'm not gay or nothing. Put the beer in the refrigerator.
Dude, his chat log was all caps.
No, people kept saying no rubber, but that's not what it says.
It says no rubber.
No rubber.
Yeah,
no rubber.
That became a meme. That was a famous meme. He was known as that guy. Yeah, he was known as that guy after the show came out.
Well, let's get really serious for 1 second. I don't know if you guys can. Here we go. His dad poured soup on his head. His dad poured boiling soup on his head. And then I look at him when he comes in, and I was like, of course your dad poured soup on your head. I'd pour soup on your head.
Wait, you're saying that was in his chat log?
No, dude. Like it came out much later that he got into his dad got arrested and he had to be rushed to the hospital because apparently he got into an argument with his dad. And I think that it was because he didn't put the beer in the refrigerator. And his dad poured hot soup on his head. And he had like 2nd-degree burns all over his head. Just poured soup. Probably was top ramen.
Damn, there's something with Palumbo and putting stuff in the refrigerator. He kept telling that decoy, like constantly, that he could put it in the fridge, like a million fucking times. Maybe
put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, maybe his dad like pours soup on Palumbo if he doesn't put things in the refrigerator fast enough as a kid.
He's like, hey, pour. That's what he's saying. He's like, pour soup in the refrigerator. Put the beer in the refrigerator. He's like, all right, I'll get to it, but I want you to know, Dad, I'm not gay or nothing. And he's like, pour the soup on his head. That's what happens. That's what.
I want to be tough.
Yeah.
You want to do it raw?
Dude, that's gross.
What's that?
No rubber. Dude, oh man, this show just went off the rails. That is crazy. But to me, it would be, dude. That's such a good one. Palumbo looks like he'd be like a Super Mario brother that is not in the video games because he jumped up and broke his neck on a box. And he's like laying there, and then like, and then the thing it goes, it pops up, and it's like hot soup, and like falls on his head.
I do have. If your thing's gonna die, I do have one really interesting thing I wanted to ask or get your guys' opinion on real quick though.
It's a question.
It's a question. Jeff Stacy. We can do a whole show on Jeff Stacy. Holy shit! Legs spread and I'll
do you sleep naked?
Yeah.
You sleep naked? He pulls up to a Burger King. It's like, welcome to Burger King. Can I take your order? Do you sleep naked?
I like what you said, Deep, on your last show. You're like, he should have said that to the judge because they would have. He would have just said this to everyone.
He would have just let it go. It'd have been like, so how do you plead? Do you sleep naked? And he's like, all right, get him out of here.
Away with you.
Yeah, get him out of here.
I do have a thing I've been thinking about, and it's kind of like pretty deep, the psyche of Lorne. I know it always comes back to Lorne, but real quick, do you guys think? Well, I'll put it this way. You know how Lorne definitely mixes up being in love with being obsessed. So when he says "I love you," his subconsciously saying "I'm weirdly obsessed with you," right?
I'm obsessed with you, yeah.
So I feel like why he rushes to marriage so fast, why he needs to skip to the love level so fast, is because subconsciously he knows he's obsessive. So he needs to justify his obsession, and so he needs to get there quick, because if you're not saying, if you're not in the "I love you" stage, then why else is Lorne calling you 20 times, right? He can always be like, well, because I love you. And if you're not at that stage yet, then he can't fully act like himself because he is so impulsive. He can't control himself. So he needs to get to like the full level. Like, we're going to get married. I love you because I'm about to act like a fucking psycho. And you know, like I need my blank check to act like myself, which is a psycho. So I'm gonna love bomb you right away so I can justify my actions.
Or let's what happened? Are you okay? Okay.
Yeah,
or here we go.
Got my vape.
Okay. Or hear me out. Or He's just really dumb.
Right.
Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine him going to court? You know, showing up with the whole thing, with like if his mom takes him to court and she's like, he hasn't paid me back my $5,000, and then Judge Joe Brown's like, you mean to tell me that he owes you $5,000 and he ain't going around with that? Get out of my courtroom. You know, because you know, what's his name? Judge Mathis is like, oh, your mama's a crackhead. That's what's going on. No, he has so many lawsuits that he believes that are valid that I don't believe he has a lawyer. I think he just shows up to small claims courts and just submits the same paperwork over and over. Yeah. Doesn't go anywhere. Because he's probably like, my lawyer says, you know, and he's probably just asking the janitor that can't speak English, do you think I could get a
Miguel?
And, yeah, he's asking Victor, and Victor's like, dude, leave me alone. I'm not a lawyer. Dude, stop. Lawyer. What are you doing? You know, or he just. Do you think this can get me a lot of money and I can sue Chris Hansen? And the guy's like, puta me lo que está diciendo. Yo no entiendo lo que estás diciendo aquí, and he hands up because he doesn't speak English. And viene con un papel y me dice, Chris Hansen, está loco. Está diciendo. And then he's like,
Lorne doesn't listen when people talk to him, so. Yep. He won't even, that could be legit. He won't even realize this guy doesn't speak English.
He doesn't realize that guy speaks English, so he walks out and he's like, oh, the lawyer said that he thinks I can get $1 million. He makes the same sound he was making when he was entering the Sting house, when he's like, all the way to the door.
God.
Oh, man. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this short because I'm down to 5. So, all right, so I am D-Con.
I am Majestic. Falcor.
One of those weirdos.
One of those weirdos, and we should do this more often. I think we might do this once a month, maybe, or I don't know. But anyways, guys, you guys,
I'm down.
You guys should like and subscribe. Do you have a channel there, Mr. One of those weirdos?
Yeah, that's where all the chipmunk calls come from.
Dude, I didn't know.
Yeah, check out my channel, dude. I got hella shit on there.
I thought that is crazy. Okay, all right. So subscribe to One of Those Weirdos and subscribe to Mr. Majestic here. He's
yeah.
And if I honestly don't care if you guys subscribe to my channel. So, but give my channel a dislike. Do that. But we have
there it is.
But we now have bare knuckle crew shirts. So if you guys want to look stylish,
hell yeah,
over to Public T. I'll leave the link in the description, and you guys can also. Oh man, I forgot this episode is brought to you by tacticonarmament.com. If you guys want to get all your awesome tactical gear, anything from laser sights for your rifle, if you guys want to get plate carriers, if you guys want to get a very good looking vest, head on over to tacticonarmament.com. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to sign off now. This is D-Con, and remember, guys, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
Peace.
Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, man.